Good day, everybody. Warm here, and we're back again with AI, the Somnium Files. Or excuse me, Somnium Files. And we had quite the session last time. We had our... How would I even describe Iris? Not... Not... Not our friend. I don't even know enough of her history with Date to know precisely what she was to him. We know that she was friends with Mizuki, certainly. But she passed away last episode. To put it more plainly, she was murdered in quite a disgusting fashion. And so this is the first time we've had a murder where it was someone we knew. And I say we, I mean myself, actually. Both Shoko and Renju were people that Date knew, but Iris was the first that only I got to know. So it was certainly quite something. And we actually saw it. It wasn't just discovered, it was shown to us all on a live stream, apparently. And that, of course, raises the question as to why that was the case. Thinking about it now, do you think it was something that was intentionally done because Iris was a live streamer or an internet idol, something like that? I wonder what made the killer change that. In any case, I'm also curious about what happened after Iris and Ota ditched Date. We know they incapacitated him with a taser, and then they went somewhere. Did they go here? Was there something here at this warehouse that they needed, or were they intercepted, or were they ambushed at wherever they were going? There's obviously so much more to this situation that we are currently unaware of. So we're going to have to do our best to discover the truth, to find out what happened. Usually I was thinking about my reaction last episode, and usually, like in other games, other visual novels, certainly at something like this, I feel like I would normally be affected much more. But I didn't get as emotional as I thought I would have. And I was trying to think about why that was. And I think part of it is, I don't know if suspicious of Iris is the right way to say it. There's so much unknown about Iris that I don't know how to feel about her. Like, is she friend or is she foe? I, of course, want to lean towards friend. I don't think she's a killer, and I don't think she's responsible for the other two killings, but there's certainly... She was obviously desperate enough to have Oda tase us. But I don't know. I need to know more. I need to know more about her. And so that's one thing. I'm just unsure about Iris as a character at this point. And the other thing is, I get to thinking about this flowchart thing. And this is the first visual novel, I think, where I've dealt with something like this, at least that I can recall. And I get confused. Like, so if we went down this route, would Iris be alive? Or if we went down this route, would Iris be alive? This feels like a sort of bad end or something. So I guess a part of me is thinking, okay, well, she died, but maybe there's going to be a way to save her. So... Usually at a character's death, I feel like I guess it didn't feel as final, is what I'm saying. I'm. That's of course assuming we can save her, or there's a route where she doesn't die. Maybe in all the routes she dies, in which case that's pretty awful. But in any case, let me stop rambling and get back into it. We had a choice of places to go. And this is the first I wanted to go to. The air condition wasn't running, but it was still cold. The temperature hadn't raised much at all. The cold air sunk into my skin, but the center of my body was burning hot. So this was we're at the harbor, and this is a fish plant or fish warehouse or something. Let's try and take in everything we can. Harbor box.
There are only a few items on the shelf.
Is this warehouse not in use?
Yeah, it's interesting that they were taken here. Overhead crane, hook hanging from ceiling crane.
This forklift is old. It does not appear to be functional. It has not been moved in some time.
It looks like is that icicles? Tire and floor covered with layer of ice, yeah. An oil drum. Do you think, is this the same kind of oil drum that we found at Sunfish Pocket? Could Renju have been brought here before he was murdered? I'm not sure if the timeline allows for that. Any progress?
I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
As useful as ever, random police guy. And this is obviously Kagami here again. How you feeling, Kagami?
No, nothing so far.
Interesting. It looks like Date's not even in the mood to joke around. Otis blood. Yes. Iris and Otis blood mixed together now.
Right here. Iris and Ota were.
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's time of death.
Just before I arrived. About 3:30 in the morning.
Let's write that down just to be clear.
And the cause of death.
Right, about that.
Yes, because we know he was stabbed, right? Do I have that written down? No, but I remember him saying it. Ota was stabbed.
Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in his side.
A kitchen knife? Did we say that before and I missed that? I thought I knew he said stab. What in the world? I mean, think of the only kitchen knife we know in this game. But how in the world does that make sense? Okay. Well, I know who we're gonna pay a visit to.
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound, or...?
I cannot determine that.
You can't? You're usually pretty good about stuff like that, Aiba.
I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal. Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death.
So it may not matter too much.
If he weren't already extremely weak, We would expect to see more signs of struggle.
Led to a scuffle. Oda ended up with a knife wound in his side. He lost all power to fight back. He was forcibly put inside a costume, then finally cut open by the ice cutting machine.
But why? Why did the culprit put the costume on Ota?
Unknown.
Iris and Ota's body are under autopsy. Their bodies aren't here anymore. That is a good question. Why not just have Oda? Because obviously we were going to come here and find out, right? So why try to delay that? Maybe to obfuscate. No. Well, I need to think about it more. We're slicing too by this ice cutting machine.
Iris's estimated time of
Okay,
death
don't show
and
me
cause
again.
of death have been confirmed. The video was not a recording. It was a live stream, filmed in real time.
Which means Iris's time of death is 3:20 a.m.
3:20. $3:20.
Iris also had her left eye removed.
Yeah.
And like Renju and Shoko, Iris's left eyeball has not been recovered.
Ice cutting machine.
A video camera and laptop. This is what the criminal used to stream.
Surely there must be something on the laptop, right?
All of these items have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores. It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them. I have logged into the Wi-Fi in this warehouse.
Warehouse has Wi-Fi. Huh?
Okiura Fishery Co., Ltd. is listed as the owner.
Okiura. Since when do they...
However, I found the password written directly on the router. Anyone who saw it could have used it.
When... I mean... So who owned it? Renju? Shoko? Was it someone who owned it in their name? What's going on here? I also got a... What is this? That's a Ring reference. And here's Pewter. This futuristic crazy guy. Are we just gonna let that slide?
I have done some research. As the name suggests,
Okay.
the company is owned by the Okiuras.
Okay, good
the
to know.
same Okiuras we know. Renju's father created the company.
Huh.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually.
Hmm?
Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju. The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious.
Yeah.
Date, we should get moving. Officers from the local jurisdiction are checking the warehouse thoroughly. We will not find anything of importance here.
Yeah, you're right.
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find anything.
All right.
CSI? Who's that? Okay, so Okiura and Hmm. When I left the warehouse, I saw Pewter. What is he doing here indeed? Walked to my... I was trying to work it out.
Date, I have to talk to you about something.
Just before you do that, Pewter, let me think. So we learned it's Okiura Fishery. What else did we learn? Not much else. More of a recap of what we knew, actually. Okay, what is it, Pewter?
Huh?
About the original Cyclops serial killings.
Oh, you're gonna spill it, huh?
Why this all of a sudden?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date. I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice.
I mean, other than being a part of Abyss and the police, what's your stake in this? Why do you... I mean, obviously you'd want anyone to do... any crazy person who did this crime to be brought to justice, but... I get the sense there's more behind this.
So, if I can help you, even a little.
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
The boss was there.
And boss really, really doesn't want to tell me anything for some reason.
I couldn't speak openly in front of her. So, I decided to meet you here.
All right, let's hear it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
Because it's me, and I've been under observation this entire time, right?
I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes.
Yes.
Let me explain why.
Go ahead.
I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer.
Okay, tell me.
Although, it's more accurate to say, killers.
Okay. This is pretty big. Go ahead.
More than one?
In the first series of killings, the culprit had an accomplice.
Is this the red person we saw, or is this the blue person we saw in the Somnium?
One of them was born a murderous psychopath.
First series, so these 4?
The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of the Kumakuras.
Okay, hang on. Is he saying these 2 are... He said accomplice singular. Are you saying you don't know which is which? What are you saying?
They each had a role to play.
And Date knew Rohan. When he went to the Kumakuras, he said Rohan should be in charge. Like his past memories were just unconsciously coming out from him.
The murderer committed the homicide, and Rohan removed the eyeball.
So Rohan's the accomplice. That's quite something. So he said, what did he say? Killers. But there's still only one murderer, is what you're saying. Okay. But who's the murderous psychopath?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust. It is colloquially referred to as the love hormone. It causes a tranquilizing effect which improves mood and relieves stress. It is normally secreted when the body makes contact with an object of affection, such as an embrace or caress.
I'm sure you know what this implies, but he was unable to feel love in the way that we do. However, he was able to experience a substitute. His brain was wired in such a way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means. Due to the unique idiosyncrasies of his brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and endorphins by performing a certain action.
Murder.
What was it?
Murder.
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the brain. The pleasant feeling attained through accomplishment is dopamine. Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic. They dull pain and create a feeling of happiness.
He got pleasure from killing people?
I mean, you saw the reflection in the glass, didn't you? I mean, he was smiling throughout that.
It's slightly more complicated than that. Killing people was the only way he could get pleasure.
The only way. That's...
He was 12 when he took his first life.
Wow, okay.
That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again and again.
But that's not... Is that one of the 4 women? Is that one of the 4 women and the others were done much later? Is that how it is? About Rohan.
18 years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye. She was already dead. He put his finger into her eye socket and gouged it out.
Nice guy.
The reason why was simple. He was fascinated by women's eyes. Their beauty stimulated his greed and his desire to possess them.
Just because, I guess, right?
He needed to have them, to make them his own. Driven by this instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye. From then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession with the eyes of dead women. He was very particular about his need that the eye belonged to a deceased woman. But even being the head of a Yakuza gang, there weren't too many opportunities for him to indulge. His deepest, darkest desire went unfulfilled for years. However, he soon met his ideal partner, the aforementioned psychopath. The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye. Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established.
But only one eye? You didn't really specify. You just said he liked deceased women's eyes. You didn't specify if it was one eye. Why wouldn't he take both?
This was the origin of the Cyclops serial killings.
Maybe it doesn't matter.
At about the same time, you were assigned to Abyss.
Same time as what? You're saying the same time that those two met? Date got assigned to Abyss? So you're saying, like, you haven't told me who the psychopath is. Well, I guess those things aren't mutually exclusive. Date could have been assigned to Abyss and also have been the killer. I guess that could be possible. Why'd it get classified?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. You don't know who the killer is?
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time. Even the official investigation material contains nothing of value.
They're drawing it out so much that I'm beginning to think it's like a bait and switch. That, because it feels like it's like they're being so obvious that it's Date that now I'm thinking maybe it's not Date.
I am unable to draw any conclusions from them.
You really have no idea?
If I did, I would tell you.
Summarize for me.
The original Cyclops killer had an accomplice.
There were 2 Cyclops killers.
But only one killed.
And one of them was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
Rohan committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
That means... Pewter, tell me this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that. That means one remains. Who is he?
After his fourth murder, he was arrested by the police. They actually picked him up on other charges. But, in any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in Fuchu prison.
Really?
Fuchu prison?
Yes.
What's his name?
In prison, he doesn't have a name.
He's not Mr. 89, is he?
He is simply called Number 89.
Okay. I'll freely admit I'm still pretty early on in this game, so... I may just have to accept this for now.
Number 89.
Yes, I know. And remember, he said the one who killed them was a he.
So, now you know why I said that. That the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
Because you know he's still in prison.
Because one is dead, and the other is behind bars. Neither of them had the opportunity.
Well, we definitely need to talk to Mr. 89. Policeman 1, and then policeman that doesn't get a number. I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious of this. But would Pewter have any reason to lie? I guess let's follow up this one lead here first. Because I'm really curious about this thing. The place was silent. It was so quiet I felt like it... Oh yeah, I'm worried that she's gonna be in a state. I stepped inside, I thought it was empty, but I saw a shadow in the corner of my eye. It was Mayumi. It's like watching a decaying old tree cling pathetically to the earth. Hello, Ms. Matsushita. You wouldn't happen to have your knife with you, would you? Sorry to interrupt. Do you want to talk about it?
This is your fault.
What, who, me?
I heard from the police. Because you didn't take care of Iris.
What? She... Okay. I understand. She's not in a state to be reasoned with. And if she can... If this is a way of managing her grief, I think we should understand it. It's just... I feel like that's not very fair.
My boy Ota got involved.
Although we did kind of let Iris just have her phone. I guess I'm stuck on whether she was officially a suspect or not. Because I feel like if she was, we probably should have secured her phone before that. Well, I guess we released her anyway, so she would have gotten her phone back. But it's just... I don't know.
Date, I looked into the investigation report. Mayumi confirmed Ota's body early this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry. I want to be alone right now. Did you not hear me? I said leave!
Yeah, but... Where's your knife, ma'am?
Date, let's go. She is in no state to talk.
Yeah, you're right.
But where's the knife? That's critically important. I hope we're not missing it. Okay, I guess we'll go. Bye. Let's go to Saga now. When I visited the Sagan household, I found Hitomi with a hollow look in her eyes. She let me in and asked me to sit on the sofa. I agreed and sat down. It's interesting we're always in the same place that the skeleton is from the first Somnium. And after that, I couldn't say a single word. Heavy silence weighed on both of us.
In the language of flowers, the iris means good news and hope. When I saw the flowers this morning, I just knew something good would happen.
Iris.
And that was, just a few hours later, she'd be with Renju. So, do you think this guy's 89, the guy we saw in the first Somnium? Do you think that's him? He's just, it's the only guy that we don't have his face yet. Yeah, it looks like we're pretty much done with the silliness, which, you know, appropriate. Well, don't know what to say, really. Gentle but strong.
Iris was my everything. We always went everywhere together. Whether it was buying clothes, or going to the movies, or taking a walk, or going shopping at the supermarket. When she was young, she would just hold one of my fingers. Her hand was too small to hold mine. Then it was 2, then 3. And finally she could hold my hand. But eventually, she left my hands altogether. She started crossing her arms, being independent, even though she needed constant attention growing up. Her memories are a part of this room. And always will be. When she was a baby, she fell off that sofa and cried and cried. One day she tore up her picture book all over the floor here. Another time she drew with crayons all over the window. She painted my portrait on Mother's Day. Scratches on the floor, chipped plates, burn marks on the table, stains on the cushions. Everything you see. It all holds a memory of her. But why? Oda was one of my students.
Interesting connection.
I taught him in elementary school. I heard it from the police. Oda tried to help Iris and ended up... I don't know what to say. I have no words.
Hitomi, my entire focus is on this case. Is there anything at all you can tell me?
I don't know if this is important, but
No, please. Tell me.
I may have told you this already. I met Renju's wife Shoko twice before. The first time at the wedding, the second time a month ago. That second time was in the waiting room of the prison.
Prison?
There's an acquaintance of mine from when we were younger.
Is it your husband?
I visit them a few times a year. By coincidence, I saw Shoko. I don't think she noticed me, but I recognized her as Renju's wife right away. She was there for the same reason I was, to visit one of the inmates.
Maybe the same inmate?
Do you know who?
No, I don't. We didn't talk.
Which prison?
Fuchu Prison
Fuchu Prison.
in Tokyo.
Fuchu.
Prison?
All signs pointing to Fuchu, huh?
I'm sorry to have bothered you. I'll be going now.
I don't know what to do. Thinking about her. Date, please, you have to catch them. Please. Please.
I will. Trust me.
Nothing else would bring me more pleasure, ma'am. I can assure you of that. Date residence. We've never been here. Marbles where we were attacked. Let's save Date residence for last then. Let's see how Mama's doing.
Are you okay, honey?
No, I don't think so.
Huh?
About last night. Well, at 3 in the morning anyway.
You know about it?
It's on every channel. You have the face of a ghost. Do you want a glass?
I don't need a drink. I need information. Do you have anything?
Well, let's see. I do have... I suppose you could call it intuition.
Tell me.
The Kumakuras are involved in this case.
Yes, I can believe that.
Remember what I told you before? That there's a relationship between Ren and the Kumakuras? Shoko also has a relationship with them.
Pretty sure I knew that.
You know about her dealings with the Kumakuras, right?
But not specifically. Why don't you tell me?
So basically, 2 of the victims are linked to the Kumakuras. That must mean they're involved somehow, right?
Not 2. 3.
Oh?
3. Iris?
No, not that one. The boy.
What?
He came here last night.
Ota?
Ota?
Yes, from Matsushita Diner. He's linked to the Kumakuras as well.
How in the world? Ota? Dang it, Ota, what do you do?
Have you heard the rumor?
Mama told me a similar story to Iva's. About So Sejima in the Kawasaki district. We know Ota lived nearby. The diner was nearby. 8 years ago, So sold the land in the Kawasaki district for 30 billion yen. Half a year later, an explosion at the chemical plant caused the land prices to drop drastically. So bought back the land for 1 billion yen. Almost like he knew beforehand that the accident would happen. Did So blow it up, or conspire to blow it up, or just knew that it was going to blow up and took advantage? Now that would make sense. So wouldn't get anything from that. He would end up with 29 billion yen in cash and 1 billion in land. So net zero. But there's more to the story.
The Kumakuras own a handful of real estate companies. They of course look legit, but they're Yakuza fronts. I'll call those real estate companies the KE to keep it simple for you. The KE followed in So's footsteps. They bought up land in Kawasaki. Now, back to So. Have you heard of the plans for the casino in Kawasaki?
And where in the world does Ota come into this picture?
So was the one who came up with it.
I was born and raised in Kawasaki. I remember the landscape of my childhood, and I loved it dearly. But look at Kawasaki now. When I see images of the destruction on television, my heart aches like it's being chopped to pieces. But I promise you, I will revive the Kawasaki district at any cost. Casino Town Kawasaki will give new life to the city.
After that, So moved fast. He submitted the bills he needed to the National Assembly after drumming up support in the right places. The bills passed, and it became an official government initiative.
Decontamination efforts therefore increased at a rapid pace in the Kawasaki district. At the moment, the area is still considered off limits. However, the air in Kawasaki is currently purified to such an extent that it has no negative effect on the human body.
If the plan goes smoothly, land prices in Kawasaki are going to skyrocket. And all that land is owned by the KE, and by So himself. The land he bought back for 1 billion will be worth 10 times that soon.
He's involved in some shady business.
So it would seem.
This is just another rumor, but the chemical plant exploding was no accident. It was done intentionally.
By whom?
By So and the Kumakuras, you mean?
But there's no hard evidence of that. It's just gossip.
What about Ota?
What were we talking about again?
Ota and the Kumakuras.
Oh, right. You know how Matsushita Diner is close to the Kawasaki district?
Yes, I do.
The chemical plant explosion made times hard. Foot traffic went down, sales declined. No wonder it closed down. Ota must hold a grudge.
So you're saying he suspects the Kumakuras or something?
Someone caused that explosion. And if it was intentional, oh, he'd hate them even more. That's how I link Ota to the Kumakuras.
Do you have any reason to believe he knew?
Thank you, Mama.
So it's just a hunch. She did say intuition.
I don't know if what you told me will lead to anything, but
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to waste your time.
That's all right. We need everything we can get at this point, Mama. So don't worry about it.
no, it was very helpful.
I'm glad I can help, even if it's just a little.
Well then, be seeing you.
Come back anytime.
Abyss, that's new. Let's head to Date residence. It looks like a rundown warehouse thing. Mizuki is curled up on the sofa. Man, if you, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It feels like if you for some reason really hated Mizuki and wanted to get revenge or punish her or something, I don't know what, but it feels like you could. I don't know what else you would do other than what has been happening in this game. Murder her family and close friends. I mean, this is. What did Mizuki do to deserve this? It's just. She looked like a small animal frightened by a predator. So is this your place, Date? Ooh. It's just one room, huh? Unless there's a door behind me? Where's the bathroom? One set of clothes. Her favorite metal pipe. Interesting. Mizuki's bed. Yeah, I mean, how do you even begin that conversation?
Mizuki must know about Iris and Ota.
Of course. The news was distributed heavily across the internet, not just in Japan, but worldwide. 3 days ago, Mizuki discovered her mother's body. 2 days ago, her father's. This morning, 2 of her best friends. It is completely understandable that she is at her mental limit.
Can I be left alone for a while?
Are you okay?
No, Date, she's not.
Yeah.
Aiba, contact Abyss. See if they can get Mizuki a good counselor.
It would have to be the best counselor.
Understood.
Yeah. How long have I been going? Okay, we can go a little further. I returned to boss's office to report. It sounds like Fuchu Prison is our next area to investigate. I didn't see her anywhere.
Where did she go?
Well, she isn't always here, correct?
True.
Yeah, we saw her go out in the very beginning. Sat down in my usual seat and decided to wait for boss. Hey,
What are you
Iva.
doing?
I thought it would be easier to talk like this.
What do we have to talk about?
A summary of the investigation, perhaps?
What summary? We don't have anything new.
That is not true, Date.
That's not true.
Huh?
I was curious, so I did some research about number 89.
And, we still need to... It's just so... I was just blindsided by the fact that they threw in... Oh, Oda's stab wound was from a kitchen knife. What? Like... And then they're just not gonna bring that up again, huh? Okay, let's just do this. Who is number 89?
As you know, he is an assassin with multiple confirmed kills.
Where did assassin come from?
He is currently serving a sentence at Fuchu Prison.
When did assassin come up? I just thought he was a psychopath.
He was imprisoned 6 years ago.
That's what Pewter told us.
After his fourth murder, he was arrested by the police.
And you said his first murder was when he was 12. What's his real name?
Unknown.
Really?
You don't know?
They don't have any records on that?
No such person is listed in the family registry.
What family?
It is possible he is a foreigner, but his nationality is unknown. However, I believe it is safe to say that he was born and raised in Japan.
So what's the relationship between 89 and Choco, considering it's here's the crazy thing. I think 89 is that guy we saw in that first Somnium. And I think it's possible that means he could be Hitomi's husband, which would make him Iris's father. And I think that's pretty crazy though.
Unknown. I cannot determine if they have any connection. Approximately 1 month ago, Hitomi Sagan witnessed Shoko in Fuchu Prison's waiting room. I am unable to say for certain that the person she was there to visit was number 89.
True.
After all, Fuchu Prison houses 2,000 inmates.
But number 89 knew Shoko's name.
Yeah, he did. Shoko Nadami.
I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
Yeah.
That must mean that he knew her somehow.
It is possible.
And how would he, being situated as he is within the prison, know about this new Cyclops killer?
Pewter claims that there were 2 culprits behind the original serial killings. One was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
But Rohan committed suicide last year.
That leaves 1 culprit still alive, number 89.
But number 89 couldn't possibly have committed these crimes. He was in jail when each of the murders occurred.
Supposedly.
Correct. However, I do not believe it is accurate to claim that he had nothing to do with the incident.
I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
If he was telling the truth, his involvement is possible.
Yep. Let's go talk to 89.
Let's talk to number 89.
I don't know if he's telling the truth or if he's full of it. But he's our last remaining loose end.
Alright. However, we need not go to him. We can bring him to us.
Really? We have that authority?
If we plan on syncing with him, it would be more efficient.
Oh my goodness.
Can you arrange that?
I can.
After cutting through some red tape. Wow, we're just I think it's, what is it now? I think it's 3 times so far in this game where I've said we're just doing it, or something similar. Took a considerable amount of time to arrive, but for some reason Boss never showed up. Where's Boss? What's she doing? Here he is. It's him. It's the guy. So why the... Okay, here we go.
Sorry to interrupt your busy day.
I don't like his smile here. What's the time here? Okay, I think I'm gonna... Yeah, you smug-looking son of a gun. We're gonna end it here, and I will do, I guess, his interrogation and then Somnium next time. Man, we went through a lot today. At least it feels like it. So, let me think. Boss is a no-show. Hopefully she's looking into some leads right now, if she can think of any. So obviously, because of the Somnium's like repressed memories or something like that, my guess it would be something like Date, because it's so weird with Iris and her age, because they seem to know each other as kids, but for whatever reason, Date was at Hitomi, or the Sagan household, and he witnessed Hitomi being... I guess it has to be what Pewter said, where dreams don't necessarily have to make sense or be in the right order. It could just be like a mishmash of different things at different times. Okay. We're gonna end it here. I need to stop, because we're gonna talk to him next time, and we need to listen carefully, and I need to get my notes together. I need to get ready, because this seems like it's gonna be crucial. So if you're still with me, I hope to see you next time, because this feels pretty big. So see you then.